back. It's just I'm Sal.
Ethan.
And I'm Tiffany.
Today we're going to do Batman Judge Dredd because everyone wants us to do it.
Okay.
These are only a couple of the copies of Batman Judge Dredd that I have received. There's 4 of these freaking crossovers, by the way.
Why is this one so much bigger?
This one has all 4. This is just 2. This is 50% of them.
Oh, maybe they're cursed, and you have to get rid of them by sending them to someone.
Yes.
I mean, someone
So
describe
thanks.
them.
I will say, when I was a kid, I read it.
Oh.
And I was like, I don't know what the fuck this is.
Yeah, because you
I
didn't know Judge Dredd,
I do
right?
not like this.
Okay.
I read it again, and I love it, because
What?
it's weird, and it's all Judge Dredd. Because it's made by the people who created and write Judge Dredd. So
Oh.
it's
So this is kind of biased.
mostly but it's not Batman versus Judge Dredd. It's not like
Right.
who would win in a fight.
Well, I mean, they're fighting on the cover.
Yes, well, that's to get you to buy it. Because if they said Batman and Judge Dredd barely meet in this crossover, I don't think it would sell nearly as many units. I will say, I think 1991 was the first time they did it, and it was a huge to-do. Like, I don't know! Oh, because Judge Dredd is a huge British comic book character
Right.
of an American joke.
Yeah.
That's how they get back at us for the war.
Yeah, for inventing a better kind of democracy, they lampoon us using a fascist cop character.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
So are these related, or are they just like 4
Incidentally,
random stories?
No, they're all in continuity with themselves.
Okay.
What?
But they don't matter.
Okay. This is published by DC.
It is a joint publication between
Does-
2000 AD and DC.
Is there a universe in the DC universe then in which Judge Dredd and Batman?
Like, coexist?
Yeah.
No. I mean, like, maybe. I think it's more like, because nothing of consequence happens to Batman, fine, it happens in the DC
But isn't this
universe,
in the isn't Judge Dredd in the far-flowing future?
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say, how could this... It's
Oh.
not in the D... Or do they cross
Oh,
boundaries? Okay, well, we'll get into it.
So, just a quick thing, by the way. This is... One of these, or most of these, are written by people who worked on Judge Dredd, who are great stewards on the character, and have also written Batman books. Like,
What?
like John Wagner has written a Batman book. Alan Grant has written a Batman book.
Okay.
Like, so
So it should work.
it does.
Okay.
But I will say that before they even get a chance to do this, someone had suggested, and it was taken seriously enough to almost have happened, that Alan Moore and Brian Boland were going to write the Batman Judge Dredd crossover.
Ooh.
And something happened. I believe it was the creators of Judge Dredd didn't like that idea.
Really?
Ooh.
And they were like, no. And it got delayed, and...
We don't need the wizarding world of Alan Moore to be touching our
No.
Judge Dredd.
That's right. Well, I can only imagine what Alan Moore would do with the Dredd character.
No.
Is every writer on this a Brit?
Yes.
That's cool.
Yeah. Judgment on Gotham is drawn by Simon Bisley, who drew, like, some amazing stuff for Judge Dredd, and he's done a number of other things that people love. And it's really bizarre art.
Wow.
Very heavy metal, you might say.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And,
She has some awesome bubage.
yes, that's Judge Anderson,
Ah.
Oh.
whom you might be familiar
Yes.
from
Yeah.
the movie.
Right.
The good movie.
Yeah, that's pretty much, by the way, like, the extent of my Dredd knowledge.
That's-
Comes from the Stallone movie and
Calamity.
I will
then
say,
Dredd.
that's all you need for
And-
context for this.
And I read one issue of one comic, thanks to Free Comic Book Day a couple of years ago, that had Judge Death in that. Is Judge Death in this?
He's in 2 of them.
No.
Yes.
Do
He's
we
in
get next-
50% of
Well,
them.
I look forward to the explanation because I didn't get one.
About who Judge Death is?
Yeah.
Well, let me give it to you now. Judge Death is from another reality where he kind of perverts the concept of judges. I think the idea was that he was originally a judge, and then he became one only so that he could have the authority to kill people, and then he took that too far, and then he, like, he basically creates his own order of judges.
Yeah.
And I think his nickname was Judge Death, and then when he died, he became this, like, ridiculous spirit, and that's the idea, is that Judge Death is a fucking ghost
Oh.
who kills
Just
people.
looking to create the perfect system.
Yeah. Because his idea is that all life is a crime.
Oh.
And so his tagline is, the crime is life, the sentence is death, and that he kills you. And he's a spirit who inhabits...
just kills anybody? Like
anyone,
randomly?
everyone,
I
yeah.
like that he seemingly, how you describe it, he has to say it every time he kills someone.
It seems to be what he does. That is not the most ridiculous thing he does in this story. So Judge Death, and by the way, there are other death judges, like other ghost judges, like Judge Pestilence and Judge
War and Judge Famine.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And so
And Batman's like, this is not what I do, man.
No. But you should know that to dispatch a Judge Death, for example, it's relatively easy. Like, he's a real triple threat, but at the same time, Judge Anderson has at one point she actually traps him in her mind, and the two coexist.
Okay.
Like, he was there, and he just kept, her mind was so well trained and so powerful.
Charles Xavier and Onslaught.
Yeah, only Judge Death was like a visitor, whereas Onslaught was a construct.
Right. Okay.
But Judge Death was trapped there, and until they could create like a holding cell, like a place
and they called
for him.
it Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
That's what
Okay,
the
so-
crossover
Containment
happens.
unit.
Yes, but they put them like in a thing that you can see, so you can go see them at like the museum.
That's so fucking weird.
Is there a suggested donation?
I assume.
Now, Judge Dredd does have
Villains.
fantastical elements to it.
Yes.
Like,
yeah,
people
there
have
are
psychic
mutants.
powers that's an established
Right, but I
thing.
always assumed it was high science fiction, where it's just where the ghostly
Yeah,
aspect
the
is
ghost
kind of
thing.
No.
struggling with. No, it's more fantasy.
It's more what the fuck.
Oh,
It's
Well,
more
like, no rules.
Yes, is like okay. You guys remember heavy metal?
yeah.
What is that?
It's like a series of...
I guarantee.
But like what?
I guarantee you.
How do you define that? That's Judge Dredd.
I guarantee you, someone has a genre for that.
No question. Yeah, but so
Is it cyberpunk?
I mean, one could argue that Judge Dredd does technically fall under cyberpunk.
Uh huh.
I wouldn't, but
all right.
only because the bard told me that it isn't. But
Oh.
Anyway.
Well, okay, that's fair.
so
He
Well,
knows
where's
best.
the bard then? He should be...
I know.
He's such
Where
an
is
expert.
Judge Bard?
Where's Judge Bard? Good question. Probably in the comments right now.
So you're opening this book, you're reading the first issue. Are you confused off the bat if you're a
Totally.
Batman fan? Okay.
Yes.
Is that Judge Death out of the gate?
Yes, Judge Death comes to Gotham and he just starts slaughtering people.
Oh.
Wow.
He comes to Gotham. Okay.
Yeah.
Our Gotham?
Our Gotham.
Okay.
He just shows up. He's like, sup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is an awesome image of Batman.
This is unbelievably cool looking. This
Yeah.
first issue.
Oh.
And everything like this.
He's kind of spawnified.
Yeah.
With the spikes coming up around and the cloak is like gigantic.
Yeah.
And like just like curving up.
Well,
and
because
stuff.
Spawn is literally just an exaggeration of the superheroes of the time.
Right. Right.
Man, that's really cool.
It's really cool.
Does it get any cooler than that? No.
Arguably, no.
Okay.
So, Judge Death winds up killing people. And by the way, Judge Death is only he is effective in that he possesses people's bodies and then like morphs them into Judge Death. But if those bodies are killed, then he has to go find another one.
Okay.
And then your only way of
Oh.
catching him is either using Judge Anderson to catch him in her mind, or to use Ghostbuster-esque vacuum cleaners that suck the ghosts into
You
the
kidding me?
unit, and then they.
I
put
gotta
them
tell you, this
someplace.
is starting to sound like the Wachowski brothers read this. We got Anderson.
Oh yeah.
We got like the Smiths going into bodies and like possessing them and becoming.
So, Judge Death randomly kills these people, and then Batman happens upon the scene because he hears their screams, and then he shows up just after these two cops encounter him.
Okay.
Judge Death, and Judge Death kills one of the cops, and then Batman swoops in and accidentally knocks Judge Death onto this spiked fence, killing Judge Death.
Okay.
Oh wow!
And Batman's like, "Fuck! I killed that guy. I have a whole thing about that."
But that guy's like a skeleton, though.
Yeah, I mean, he looks like a dead
Does
zombie
Batman
monster.
kill monsters? This is kind of a tangent.
That's a
but,
good
like,
question. Batman, yeah, like because does
Superman
Batman
kills monsters,
Right,
right?
but
'Cause
what-
they're
what-
not like
he
people.
has killed monsters. Batman isn't nearly as anal about killing aliens and monsters as like Spider-Man is.
Well, so I think based on his rogues gallery, it's a little more difficult for him to distinguish because there's like people like Killer Croc.
Yeah,
who
like
are-
he's kind of a monster.
and,
He's
like,
like,
man
did you have a
bats."
name when you started life?
Right. Or are you from this planet?
Yeah.
He could
Yeah.
draw a line there.
I think, I mean, like, in many different media, Batman has, like, let parademons die without
right. Yeah,
question.
parademons are
Parademons
Fuck
suck.
them.
Yeah.
Batman winds up finding this, like, odd device on the, like, corpse of Judge Death.
Does it look like death, or does it change into the person that?
It looks like death.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. No, the body he leaves behind looks like death too, because he changes the body when he inhabits.
So there's
okay.
all kinds of like
Rules.
Judge Death looking
Here,
things.
you can hold these.
That have like every time Morrison is he makes that person Judge Death.
Yeah.
And then he goes to something else.
Yeah, there's like 1,000 Judge Death corpses in like a morgue somewhere.
Interesting. Okay.
So
And weird.
Batman finds this odd utility belt, and he activates it, and then finds himself in Mega City 1.
Okay.
It's an interdimensional transport belt,
Well,
And Judge Death used it to get here.
which Judge Death used to get there.
Do we find out?
No.
Oh, okay.
Here's the thing: the judges have an interdimensional transport machine
Oh.
at the office, which they will later use.
Uh-huh.
And
So I
there's-
guess he stole it from.
I mean, the fact is, like Judge Dredd, who by the way turned 40 this year.
Oh.
Happy birthday,
birthday.
Joe. In his 40-year career, he has gone to different dimensions. He has been like responsible for the death of the world, and he's like led revolutions. So it stands to reason that like some kind of external technology exists that allows him to transport between dimensions.
Okay.
All right.
Sure.
They don't ask that question because they don't have time.
Gotcha.
Because this is the first time we're seeing Batman and Judge Dredd's universes crossing over. Like, let's just get to it.
Uh-huh.
Right.
So the first character that Batman immediately encounters is Mean Machine, who is just as you remember him from the Sylvester Stallone movie.
Okay. No, he's
I never
not.
saw that movie.
Okay.
He's got fleshy parts, though.
Yeah, the one in Stallone has that.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I
Mean
was
Machine's the
thinking-
one with the fucking
Yep.
dial on his head.
Yep.
You kill my paw.
Yeah, wow, he is just exactly like that.
Yeah, and Mean Machine is like, "Whoa, I don't know who you are, but if you want to fight, I'm gonna crank my head up to like 2." Because he's got like this. He's got these.
Oh, 2.
Simon, yeah, not 2.
Oh, he's got different words on there.
Yeah, well, because he's gonna be mean or vicious or brutal
Or surly.
or surly, and surly's where he starts.
That's like his everyday.
Yes,
Yeah.
he's always surly. Sorry, surly. Judge Death actually used Mean Machine to obtain the belt in the first place, and so Mean Machine is looking for recompense, or at the very least retribution, against Judge Death for ditching him.
Ah.
Right.
Okay.
So Batman and Mean Machine come to blows, and then Batman is like, "I don't have time for this nonsense," so he bails. But the commotion activates Judge Dredd. And when I say activates, I just mean like a blip comes on his fucking bike, and he's
Yeah.
like, "Oh shit, I better get there."
Okay.
So then enter Judge Dredd, who shows up, and he encounters Batman, and he's like, "Okay, here are the cuffs you should put on, because you're going to jail, or you're going into an ISO. That's it. You're
Right.
going into a cube." And Batman's
Dressing up
like,
a bat.
for vigilantism.
Ah.
And Batman's like, "I don't have any quarrel with you if you are the law here," and which is like a little "I am the law" kind of moment.
Uh-huh.
Dredd punches him twice and knocks him unconscious, takes off his mask, and arrests him.
No.
What? Okay,
No.
because that's how badass Judge Dredd is.
Yes.
Right, but like, come on.
Nope.
He doesn't even have to use like a gas grenade. Or
Nope. He hits him
anything.
with his bat. Like, he has a bat that he uses to like dangle the cuffs in front of him. Hits him in the head, and then just grabs his arm and smashes his face into the pavement.
I find that hard to believe.
Well, it happens.
All right.
So then he goes to interrogation, because
Yeah.
they're like, "Who are you? What are you doing here? What do you want?" That kind of thing. Dredd is the kind of character who punches first and then asks questions
Right.
later, if he
Right.
winds up asking questions.
Exactly.
Judge Anderson gets a call, which of course she knows she's going to get before so she answers the phone before it rings,
Right.
which is like a little telepath humor. So then they call her up and they're like, "Look, there's this dude. He calls himself Batman. You better get down here." And she's like, "Oh, like I know who Batman is because I've already seen the future, and I know that he is integral to solving the problems that we are going to have in the rest of this issue."
Those are quite the shoulder pads that he is wearing.
Who, Dredd?
Yeah, with the eagles.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
their giantness.
Yes, he always wears those shoulder
And
pads.
how hard that would be to move your arms.
But he's a badass, though. Let me tell you something. The Judge Dredd we see in Judge Dredd, starring Sylvester Stallone,
I know.
is more comic accurate than the Carla Urban Dredd that we
Right,
got.
except that Stallone's very short.
Well, I mean, with the camera trickery, you can't tell at all. He doesn't lifts in those shoes, though, and you can see those. But I will say, Dredd's boots also have similar lifts, so who knows?
Oh!
But anyway, so then enter Judge Anderson. She shows up, and then she goes into Batman's mind.
That seems like a bad place to go.
And we see...
this is just filled with bats.
It's filled with this.
I've literally never seen a Catwoman like that in my life.
No, it's
Whoa.
just... This is Bisley's interpretation of Catwoman.
Wow.
Well, it's Bisley's interpretation of Batman's interpretation. Of
Right.
Wow.
She's totally hot. More hot than usual.
But also scary.
Look at Robin over there. He's pretty normal.
Yeah, but a little weird.
Who's this?
That's Clayface.
That's Darth Vader.
Okay.
You know, after you
But it
take the
does look
helmet
like
off.
he... Yeah.
That's Anakin Skywalker.
Who's this? What is this man?
That's just a bat. It's a bat.
Oh, that's a bat.
It also looks like it's Judge Death.
It does look like Judge Death. And in fact, he did encounter Judge Death.
Yeah.
And that's how they know that they're like, holy shit, Judge Death went to his universe and he's fucking
that's
things
why
up.
he's here.
And that's why he's here. So then Batman breaks free of his bondage and then punches Dredd in the face.
Okay, so now
Get
I
back
get it.
in.
They
Yeah.
established, instead of doing like the fun fight where it's like back and forth until someone wins,
Yes.
it's one gets something
The upper
over,
hand on the
and
other.
then the other.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. I see
So
what
it's
we're doing
alright.
here.
Dredd makes some fascistic remarks about what they're going to do, and Batman's like, that's not justice. I'm justice. And like punch them in the face. And then they get into a fight.
Isn't that kind of what we do, Batman? Like, you're just deciding that you're the arbiter of justice?
Oh, to be fair, he's dealing with legitimate lunatics.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's true. But what's great is, Batman's like punching him and he's like, ooh, that's assault of a judge. That's 3 years, creep. And Batman's like, make it 5. He's like, I will!
He becomes the friggin' principal
Is Judge Anderson
from Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. Just,
So then we go to a morgue in Gotham City. And
Back to Gotham?
yeah, and in the morgue, Scarecrow strikes. And this is a Scarecrow we've never seen before. And when I say that, I mean, like, it's Scarecrow, but it's like Alan Grant and Simon Bisley Scarecrow, who is, like, obsessed with death and, like, uses dead bodies to pull chemicals for his fear toxin. Makes him more of a ghoul.
Ooh.
And it allows
He
them...
harvests his body.
what,
Yeah.
is he basically saying that, like, at the time of your death, you're the most afraid?
I guess. He doesn't actually say that, but, like, that's one interpretation you could use.
Wow, look at him.
Yeah, he's crazy looking.
Whoa.
But,
Is that a mask?
That is super creepy.
yeah, it's a mask.
Okay.
So then he encounters Judge Death,
Okay.
and Judge Death is like, okay, cool, like...
But Judge Death, like, gets up off the table?
Well,
or-
Judge Death's spirit shows
Oh.
up because it's still looking for a body.
Okay.
And it hates life, so, like, whenever the judges of that universe, like, the spirits inhabit the bodies of the living, they will, like, rot them. But Death doesn't like to encounter life at all, so he usually finds, like, corpses. Or, like, freshly...
Oh, like he
freshly...
reanimates dead corpses.
Yeah, so he's a little bit like a zombie. A zombie ghost, if you will.
Oh, so then it was fine that Batman killed him.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't
Yeah,
count.
He wasn't a guy.
It was already
who was
dead in the
alive
first
anyway.
place.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Plus, he was from another dimension, so
Which
who
means
cares?
it-
Yeah, he's
So-
okay.
That really just says that Batman can also kill Solomon Grundy. It's totally fine.
Solomon Grundy's a fucking zombie. You
Yeah,
could kill
it's-
Solomon Grundy, that's fine. Get the team up. Scarecrow and Death,
How does he...
Uh,
Scarecrow's like, oh, I'm fascinated by death, and you're like...
and you are
embodiment
Death.
of death. Let's
Yes.
fucking team up.
Yes.
And Judge Death is like, well, you're scary looking.
That sounds
so
good to me.
Let's do it.
I like your look.
Yeah.
You're clearly evil, so all right.
Yeah, that's right. So... and by the way, like, Judge Death immediately, like, betrays Scarecrow. And then...
Yes.
But then...
because Scarecrow's alive.
yes,
so, like...
but then Scarecrow hits Death with his fear toxin.
Oh.
And frightens Death
What?
into... Well, Judge Death.
Yeah, but still, I
He,
don't know.
he frightens Judge Death into, like, following him.
Oh.
And this is Judge Death's fear, by the way. It's his greatest fear. It's adorable bunnies and unicorns
and a
and
Pegasus and a
No.
dog
froggies and stuff. It's just cute thing. LOL!
and Pinocchio. That one's fair.
Yes, that interpretation certainly
Pinocchio
is
is
terrifying.
fucking creepy.
But what's great is when Judge Death reanimates the corpse, he's like, okay, well, I want to look like myself though, so like your henchman's gonna have to go out and get me like a bicycle, like a motorcycle helmet and like some big shoulder pads and stuff. So
Here's a list for my costuming.
yeah,
Just
so,
have
like,
your man.
the
make
henchman
this
like
work.
gets him the best he could do at such short notice, and he's like, this sucks.
His
Are those
his shoulder
ribs?
pads are rib cages.
Yeah. Well, actually, they're like beef ribs that he got from a slaughterhouse.
Okay, that's still really creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a look. That's
Yeah.
a look and a half.
It's
This
a lot of
art
look.
is madness.
Right.
This
So as a
world
kid,
is
and you're like, cool, Batman story, I'm in. No!
Yeah, this is just disturbing.
Yes,
to
it
look
is.
at.
It's every
I'm
bit
trying
of...
to picture like an 8-year-old looking at it, and I'm like, no.
No!
Not okay.
No, it does not work.
This will give them nightmares.
Yeah, so Dredd has no patience for Batman. He's like, okay, so anyway, like, Anderson, you and I are going to solve this problem, and this Bat guy is going to go into the cubes for, like, 5 years, because he punched me.
But he's not from this world.
Even though he's
can't-
not-
No, but it doesn't count. I don't care. That's the law here.
He's
That's
a
not-
human being,
that's not-
so
That's the law.
he's subject to our law.
That's right. Anderson then breaks out Batman, and the two of them take her lawgiver and fucking leave. Lawgiver's the
Motorcycle.
bike. The bike. I'm sorry, the lawgiver's the gun. The lawbringer is the bike? I don't remember.
Well,
Doesn't
it
matter.
Does
breaks the
Dredd get all pissed at her for breaking the
Yeah,
law?
yeah.
It's
And
like, oh, now you're going in ISO, Anderson.
so he never puts her in the eyes. But like, and nor does he ever threaten it. He's just like, you're in a lot of trouble, and she's like, no, I'm not. And he's like, ah. So literally, like she and Batman ditch, and then the story is Anderson and Batman solving the problem, and Judge Dredd chasing them.
This is fascinating. So the writers of this book, I kind of assumed that since Batman is an American creation, that they would be putting him through the ringer,
Right.
But no, they're like, no, Judge Dredd is the fascist. He
Yes,
is the parody.
he is myopic.
So we're gonna take him, and he can keep doing his thing. But
Yeah.
like Judge Anderson has an actual head on her shoulders.
Yeah.
And she's gonna be like, Batman, you're okay.
That's right. So, oh my god. So the grand scheme between Scarecrow and Death is they're going to go to a rock concert where Death will kill everyone. And
First, they're gonna get totally trashed
no.
Okay.
They go to the rock concert.
and get laid.
No. Death just starts killing members of the band.
Oh.
And then he steals their guitar and then does a performance on the stage for the teeming masses.
And they're like, yeah! Because
Yes.
they think it's all part of the act. you
Yes. And he sings, I think it's Don't Fear the Reaper, but like he makes up his own lyrics about himself and how awesome he is. And
Is he
it's
shredding on a guitar?
fucking what? So Judge Dredd totally puts on a bitchin' show.
Does he have a chicken on his shoulder?
Yeah, it's a chicken.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
with
dead chicken.
It's a dead chicken
That's,
with like
that's occupying one
curly
of
neck.
the shoulder pads he needs.
This is so okay.
This is just supposed to be ludicrous.
Right?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Judge Death is also a parody because it's the equivalent of Dredd, right?
Yeah.
What is he a parody of, though?
Right, like
Us.
maybe being cool, like maybe like what we think is cool.
I guess.
Spawn.
Yeah, Spawn. It's not 91. Spawn hasn't shown up yet, but
Oh.
but Judge Death puts on the rock concert, and Mean Machine like follows through the dimension. He shows up.
How? He gets another belt? Or...
I think he steals the belt from Batman when Batman first shows up, and then
Oh,
Anderson uses their technology to take them back to Gotham anyway.
Oh, okay. Oh, because she's like, Judge Death is... You didn't kill him. He's
Yeah.
like a spirit thing. You
That's
gotta-
right.
you
We
gotta
have to go,
back.
and I have to go with you because I'm the only one who could stop him.
Okay.
So Judge Death also puts his foot through that guy's whole body.
Yeah, well, Judge Death's way of killing them is actually by like extending his fingers like Lady Deathstrike, but then like digging them into people's bodies.
Okay.
And with Bisley's art, it's horrifying because like he'll pick like their face and it'll go like under their skin, like not through their face, like
Right.
under their skin. So you see the indentation of his long finger, like under the skin between the skull and the flesh, and then it
Right.
like pokes out the top. It's just horror show,
Right.
But
this
also
time-
it's hilarious.
But this time it's his whole leg. Like, literally.
Yeah, he's
Yeah, he just... Boom.
So that's, like, stuck on there, right?
Right.
Yeah, he just shakes the body
So-
off.
So Death is killing everybody.
And singing.
And like Mean Machine is using he's stuck on like on 11 or whatever. He's like and his signature move is like bonking, like headbutting because his head is like
Okay.
really his head's like metal
The
and
big
shit.
metal thing?
So he
Yeah.
just like bonks his way through the stage.
Okay.
And he like collapses the stage. And then just as Judge Death is about to get the drop on Batman, because Batman's like, "I'll stop Scarecrow, I guess."
Right.
That seems like something I can handle.
Yeah, so he goes ahead and he almost takes out Scarecrow, but then Anderson winds up taking out Scarecrow, and then Judge Death gets the drop on Batman, but then Judge Dredd shows up and just kills Judge Death with a gun.
Okay.
Okay.
He just does his thing.
That's fair. I
Yeah.
can give him that. That makes sense.
But he knows he's just gonna, like, go in another body, right?
Yeah, well, because he's like, I need Anderson to go. Because they're a team.
Right,
so
right.
I love it because Anderson's like, hooray, the cavalry's arrived. He's like, quiet, Anderson, you're in a lot of trouble. It's just all business is Dredd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Dredd needs to get laid.
yeah.
What does Batman really do, then, to help?
Nothing.
He,
So Judge Dredd was kind of right. Like, he and Anderson could have just taken care of the problem.
Yes.
yeah, but
But then he would have spent his entire life in
Yeah,
in
and I guess
myself.
Anderson's like, no, Batman belongs in his universe. He doesn't belong in our
Yes,
universe.
that's right. And he winds up giving Anderson like tips on where they would go. He uses his detection skills to figure out like where
Doesn't she know? Can't she see the future?
Yeah, but they're in another universe or something. I don't know.
I like his art here for these, like, I guess...
That's her pulling death into her mind.
Okay. I like that. It's pretty.
Yeah.
I like that they also, they could have very easily been like, we've got Scarecrow. We can hit Judge Dredd with fear toxin. And they're like,
No, we're not gonna do that.
no, because I don't know what he's afraid of.
That's right. and yeah, even though like I've written like decades worth of Judge Dredd stories, I still don't know what he's afraid of. But that said, then everything's kind of wrapped up in a neat little package, and then Dredd is like, "Oh, but Batman, you gotta go because you got time to serve." And Batman's like, "You're welcome to try." And Judge Dredd's like, "Oh, we could do this the easy way or the hard way." And then Batman's like, "Oh, the hard way's fine." And then Anderson's like, "Okay, Batman's gonna stay here, and Joe, you're gonna come with me." And Judge Dredd's like, "All right." And so they take Mean Machine.
He frowns real hard. And
Yep.
okay.
Well, it's like, Dredd, you literally have no idea what's going on in Gotham. If you remove Batman from Gotham...
Right. Well, he's like, "I don't care,
It doesn't
though."
matter, though. Justice.
No,
Justice.
law.
Law, right. Not justice. Law. The
Batman's
law
justice,
says,
Dredd is law.
Yeah.
So that's the story of the first arc, or the first, like,
Okay.
event. This comes out to much acclaim. They immediately greenlight the sequel, which they will call Die Laughing. Oh shit, the Joker.
Yeah.
And then...
Versus Dredd. Yeah, Judge Dredd.
Yeah, nothing happens. And in 1992, DC decrees there shall be no Batman crossovers because Batman Returns is coming out and it'll confuse people. Ooh. So they don't do anything, and then they do the worst one, which is Vendetta in Gotham.
This art is not as good.
No, it's not. But this one's by Cam Kennedy. It's evocative, I think, of like early Frank Miller.
This?
It's a little bit like that, I think. In this story, which you have there as well.
Yeah, I don't like, some of the character designs are definitely...
So, okay. This one we're just going to kind of go through real fast.
Okay, let's
Because
do
it has the ventriloquist in it.
Oh.
The ventriloquist and Scarface want to kill a senator and his son. So Scarface disguises himself as like a prop in the senator's son's like school play. And he's going to have like a bomb on him that's going to blow up the school. And so Judge Dredd shows up and Batman and Dredd fight for the whole issue.
Wait, why does Judge Dredd show up?
Because
this is Judge Dredd versus Batman.
No, because... Well, yes.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, but the reason in the story is because psychic tech people pull a newspaper headline from the future that's from an alternate reality, the reality being Gotham, in which Batman is killed in the explosion. And Judge Dredd's partner Anderson basically prognosticates that there's a coming storm, and Batman will be integral to the survival of Mega City 1. And so they need to preserve Batman's life in order to succeed in this ridiculous war that's going to happen in the future.
Okay.
So Batman...
Fucking what?
Batman's going to die.
Yeah,
and
I get
Dredd
it,
needs Batman.
In what... He's from a different timeline, different
universe.
universe.
But like,
So
they're always...
Dredd's people
have like an
thing.
interdimensional like
Okay.
thing.
No, I get that. But, like, Batman's timeline doesn't lead to Mega City 1, or does it?
No, it's an alternate
No.
play. It's an alternate dimension.
They're saying, like, in the future,
In the
Batman's
future-
going to come over
They're
into their
s-
dimension
they're saying
and
that-
save Mega City
that-
1.
Yeah.
That
Yes.
Volume 3 of this is coming out.
Yes, it's volume 4. Because then there's another one
before
the actual sequel that they actually fucking set up. Because at the end of the first story, they're like, Die Laughing's coming. And then 2 more events happen, and then they do Die Laughing.
So, did they know they were going to be able to do it?
Yes.
Okay, because
they were planning on doing it. No, this is all set up. It's just, we never actually got a chance to see Batman and Judge Dredd fight, so they fight for the whole issue.
I was asking because it's like, why, if you were like, we only have this other issue, why would you do the ventriloquist? Wouldn't you just go into
Yes, why would you do the ventriloquist? That's a stupid idea. And they agree, but
they
money,
can sell more copies this way.
Yes, and that cover looks great. So the idea is Judge Dredd needs to... He knows he's not going to be able to convince Batman not to go because innocent children are killed and he would sacrifice himself to try and save them. Judge Dredd knows that's going to happen no matter what.
All he can do is fight Batman.
To delay him from going there.
To let these kids die?
Yes.
Instead of just trying to stop it himself?
Yes.
That's a terrible plan, Judge
Dredd's
Dredd.
like, no, the tech people told me that this is going to happen.
Yeah,
I don't
if you intervene, you could change it.
No,
Judge
I have
Dredd
to. The only thing that matters is preserving Batman, so that Batman can do this thing that we need.
Yeah, so that Batman can save our horrible, post-apocalyptic world.
This Judge Dredd
it's his world though.
Doesn't strike me as a critical thinker.
Not especially. So then Batman. So Dredd basically he looks at his watch and he's like, okay, well, that's enough time. You won't be able to make it in time. All right, so let's Batman. Listen, here's the thing. And then he tells Batman what the plot is and hands him the article. And Batman's like, well, that's only 2 blocks away. I can still make it. And Judge's like, no. So then Batman goes.
Well, why did Judge Dredd think he delayed him long enough?
Because he didn't know how far away the venue was.
Didn't know anything about Gotham.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Wouldn't this have already been factored into the text? Like, obviously, it's because Judge Dredd went and waited too long that Batman dies.
It depends on how their time travel stuff works.
Yeah.
Like, if they know something, can they change it?
Right.
By sending someone there?
Or is it because they sent someone?
Right, is this part of the future
It
they
could
saw?
be.
But I assume Batman doesn't die.
Nope,
so
Batman saves the day, and then when they look at the newspaper again, it says, Batman saves the show,
Okay.
children rescued
So
from
it's like
certain
It
death.
Back
says
to the
scientists
Future rules.
honored
Yes.
by...
And then, and then Batman says, like, what the hell was all that? And Judge Dredd's like, there's a better book coming, so keep your pants on. And Batman's like, sounds awesome, and then they end it. Then a worse story happens called Batman Judge Dredd, The Ultimate Riddle.
Wait, how's that really worse?
Okay,
Is it the Riddler?
No. It is the Riddler.
That's awesome.
He's not clever or interesting.
Oh, boo.
Nor does it take place in either Mega City 1 or Gotham City.
Is Ra's al Ghul a character at this point?
Yo, yeah.
How is Ra's al Ghul not one of the people that Judge Dredd has to deal with? Or Judge Death?
I know, that'd be awesome. Nope.
Freaking that'd be awesome!
Because they want to do Joker.
Judge Death would literally despise
Ra's
Ra's
al
al Ghul
yeah.
and his Lazarus Pit.
Oh, I know. The next one sucks. The idea is...
What the heck am I looking at?
Okay. So there's this new bad guy character called Emperor Zero who looks like Doctor Strange Fate from the Amalgam universe.
Wow.
But like
he's cool.
4 or 5 years before he's invented. These are warriors who are all taken from all different realities and they have to fight for Emperor Zero's amusement.
Is this Contest of Champions?
Yeah, basically. And then Batman and Dredd wind up teaming up and they
Who's the artist for this?
The artist is Carl Critchlow and Dermot Power.
Oh.
They each do like half.
Yeah,
Okay.
they take half the duties.
Well, it's because that's like all like painted and stuff. So.
Yeah.
The fun part is that when Dredd was captured, he was in the process of arresting a perp, and so the perp and Dredd are taken to this like Nexus place.
This guy immediately dies, right?
No, he makes it the whole time.
It's like Dredd. He's got the guy
Dredd's
with
like,
him.
no, you're not getting off that easy. You're going to the cubes.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
It's fun. The story is mindless.
The idea here is they don't want to we can't just have Dredd go to Gotham Universe or Batman go to Dredd Universe. We've already done that.
Yes.
We got to go somewhere else.
Yeah, we got to try something different.
Are they just trying to establish more of a rapport between the two characters?
Yeah.
In a
well,
sense?
except they don't need to. I think it's more like.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Emperor Zero and Riddler were working together, but then Zero betrays the Riddler, and then Riddler winds up because Riddler had one of these interdimensional transport machines from.
Well, who doesn't?
Yeah, and then that's it, and then literally.
So they fight some monsters.
They fight some monsters. They learn to work together.
And then they kiss.
They get really close to each other. Well, because because Dredd is like, okay, well, now that the problem's solved, I got to take that interdimensional thingy that the Riddler stole. And Batman's like, oh, no, you don't. I'm keeping this. Like, I don't trust you and your tech people. So I'm going to keep it, and you're just going to have to deal with that. And Dredd's like, fine. Just another dick measuring contest for Batman and Judge Dredd.
Yep, and of course Dredd is like killing all these people, and Batman's like, "You can't do that."
Yeah, you know, it's just illustrating the difference between the two characters. Yeah. It's just a filler it's a filler in a separate issue that came out all on its own. That's part of a fucking like series that no one knows about. But then
there's a dinosaur character.
Yeah,
that's fucking.
Is he a dinosaur?
No!
He's like a dinosaur man?
Yeah, it's more like a cool interpretation of the Gorn.
Is it Stegron?
No, Stegron's Marvel.
I know.
But he looks like... He's a dinosaur man.
He's
more like
Marvel.
a T-Rex man.
Yeah, he's like a...
He's a T-Rex with the size of a man.
He's like a Rexon, or Rex-Man.
Rexor.
Yeah, he looks like
Rexor.
Killer Croc with a T-Rex head.
Trexor! I'm son. I had to fill in for Ben, so I figured.
Yeah,
thank you.
Something like he might say. Yeah.
Right?
But what matters is Batman Judge Dredd die laughing. Which is like the piece de resistance of this amazing volume.
Whoa, crazy art.
Yes.
Who's this guy? This is going back a step.
Literally, it's just another guy
it's just
from
another
the
guy?
fucking menagerie of cool characters.
He looks like the Disturbed mascot.
Yes.
In the band Disturbed. Yeah.
Good call.
Yeah.
Wow.
So here, you can look through that.
Oh, thanks.
But Die Laughing is Judge Death is back.
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
But we don't deal with him yet. The Joker obtains the belt that transports between dimensions.
Oh,
wow,
how?
talk about continuity.
Yeah. Well, because it's literally... I think they commissioned this one after the first one. So, like, it's a direct sequel to the first one. But because they kept referencing it...
Right. We're going to tell our story.
Yes.
Unrelated to those two in the middle.
Yeah. I mean, they do reference it, though.
Oh,
They do say, like, you know, like our time with the ventriloquist.
Right.
The Joker is hideous.
Yes, this Joker is actually kind of bizarre. He just looks more like a dude.
Yeah.
But Joker steals the belt, and he uses it, but there's something wrong with it, and so when he uses it, he just freezes.
Oh.
That's great.
He's in like a moment of... He's like in a state of suspended animation, and he's also like black and white. I guess the idea is that like all the life is drained from his body or whatever.
That's perfect.
But he's still technically alive.
Put him in Arkham and call it a day.
Right? That would be brilliant. So...
Is he like stuck between universes or something?
Yeah. Well, it's
so,
more
like...
like...
They see him in the Dredd universe?
He actually does wind up going to the Dredd universe, but it's more like... when Joker winds up in Mega City 1, he realizes that like the belt malfunctioned. Mm-hmm. And so he has to like focus a lot of effort and concentration to remain in that universe.
Okay.
So Joker just starts fucking things up. And
in Mega City 1?
In Mega City 1.
Is this Mega City 1?
Yes.
Okay, I kind of get Judge Dredd a little bit more now.
Okay, well what you're looking at right now is there's this weird like movement happening with a group called the Hedonists. And the Hedonists are about to seal themselves in a pleasure dome where they will live out the remainder of their days. And it's this big like event. It's like it's like one of those like New York parades where it's like, oh, but then at the end they all seal themselves into a fucking box and they all just live there and have a good time. It's like they lock themselves in the equivalent of like a mall because there's like a food court and stuff, and they've got like rides and roller coasters. It's like that crappy place that's never going to get built in the Meadowlands. Xanadu?
Oh, Xanadu. Yeah.
So, except, like, how could that, like, where does their food come from?
Right?
Well, it's a food court. The food court comes from there.
That's pretty much how they're portrayed, where it's like, they don't really
So they'll be
think about
dead in, like, 2 weeks.
Yes. But they'll have an awesome time. So
well,
the Hedonists...
Hey, it's your other judges.
Yes.
Fire, fear, mortis, and death from the dark dimension.
That's where Judge Dredd hails from.
Okay.
Yes, and they all come into play. But don't worry, there's another judge that joins the fray. Judge Joker.
What?
Joker winds up tracking down Judge Death because he knows about him, and he's like, I want to master death. I don't want to die. I want to be immortal.
Okay.
And so Judge Death is like, I think I can fix that for you. Because the idea is the Joker breaks out the other judges, the other evil judges. And he frees them. Actually, I think he frees Death And he's like, I'll free the other ones and I'll help you out if you unlock the secrets of this, of your
Basically
immortality.
Make me like you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So then Death turns him into a judge.
Okay.
Like, he goes through this weird, like, embalming process. He takes the body of a henchman who has recently been killed, and then he, like, puts Joker's, like, spirit into it.
Okay.
And
does
then
that kill Joker's body? Like,
I think it does.
Okay. And the freezing of his body, in other words, how they, like, keep the Joker alive, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. He tries to possess Joker?
Yes, and he doesn't want to be in and Joker kicks him out, I think.
No, he just says he can't do anything with a mind like that.
That's right.
Oh,
Well, because the idea is that he's possessing people. When he possesses people and they're alive, he usually controls their minds. There's Judge Mortis winds up when he's freed. He goes into the body of the head of the dispatch judge, or the chief or whatever, and then makes him give like orders like arrest Judge Dredd. Right. But while Judge Mortis is in there, like his body starts to wither and decay. Mm-hmm. So yeah, of course, what's her name? Anderson. She feels their awakening, and yeah. So
is she in Gotham?
Yes, she gets attacked, or she gets they try to assassinate her based on the advice and efforts of the possessed Judge Mortis character.
Okay.
And so she winds up fleeing to Gotham because she knows the Joker is involved, and she remembers Joker's a Batman character.
Right, and that Batman's involved in the future.
Yes, this is the big event
Right.
that she foretold.
Right.
But she is basically like knocked off of the table based on her wounds. She goes to Gotham, wounded. Batman and Alfred nurse her back to health, at least get her out of danger.
Yeah.
And then but because she's so wounded, they keep her in the Batcave for the entire story.
Okay.
Oh.
Because they know they can bring her back, so it's like, stay here,
Right.
where there aren't like mutants and judges and ghost monsters and crap.
Right,
like,
kill you.
just take it easy and like, you know what, like taking a show and like go like to a corner.
Do they bring
store.
her back?
They do bring her back
because they need her, right?
Oh, yeah.
To sequester the bad guy. Okay.
Yeah.
But they need to keep her safe so that they can use her at the end.
Exactly.
to
Well,
solve
they
the
don't
problem.
even use her at the end.
Oh.
No, they use their fucking vacuum shit.
Oh, okay.
So.
All right. So does she tell Batman, like, okay, you need a special kind of vacuum cleaner?
No, well, this is when Judge Dredd and Batman work together.
Oh.
In this, finally they team up.
It's like Judge Dredd, you've dealt with Judge Death, but you've never dealt with the Joker.
Yes.
You need me to solve this problem.
More or less.
All right.
Yeah. So then Judge.
Why does Batman like agree to help? Why is he just like, you know what? That's really not my problem.
Yeah,
it's
and
a whole
like,
different universe.
my Joker is totally like fucked. So yeah, I'm gonna throw him in the river.
I guess he could be afraid that Joker will come back as like a spirit thing.
Well, that's certainly a concern.
Yeah.
She looks like Tulip.
She does. Well, it's drawn by the same artist.
Okay.
Who did the covers.
Yes.
But so the other problem is Batman's like, I know innocent people are going to be killed by the Joker. The Joker's my responsibility.
Oh, he's mine, so yeah.
He's from my books, so I gotta go.
Yeah, I gotta go.
So,
Okay.
Judge Death and his merry band of friends go to the hedonism festival, and they like sneak in, and they're like, we're gonna kill everybody, and they just start slaughtering people indiscriminately. And Joker gets really bored.
Right.
Sorry, that guy's just literally a fiery skeleton.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. Like,
That's what
the
he
others
looks
have like a uniform. He's just...
No.
Like,
I'm just a
What's
skeleton.
more awesome than that?
Yeah.
I can't improve on this design.
You can put him on a motorcycle, and you can put a leather jacket.
They
on.
already
you
did
go.
that.
The Joker gets bored. Is that because this isn't like an intricate enough plot?
I mean, maybe it's more like...
you didn't even come up with like a ridiculous scheme.
You know what's hilarious?
You're just killing them.
His problem is the same problem that he has in the Spider-Man Batman crossover. When Joker teams up with Carnage, and the Carnage is like, okay, so we're just gonna start killing everybody. And Joker's like, ew, what? No, we have to have like a ridiculously circuitous scheme involved.
Well, and also we have to like humiliate and like invalidate Batman.
Yes!
In some way.
And Carnage's like, what? So Judge Death is like, woo, this is awesome! I'm having the time of my death. I'm killing everybody. And Joker's like, yeah, I guess that's cool. I mean, killing people's fun and all, but like, that's it?
Is it too easy?
Yeah.
Like, to what end, Judge
Yes,
Death?
to what end? And Judge Death is like, I'm starting to regret making you.
I don't think you get it, Joker.
Yep.
So, I love Judge Dredd's goggles because it makes him look like he's really surprised.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not Judge Dredd.
Oh, it's not?
No, that's just another judge.
Oh.
No, Batman kicks the crap out of that judge and then steals his motorcycle and then uses his ability to impersonate other people's voices and impersonates that judge's voice so that he can activate the bike. Okay. And then Batman gets to ride a sweet fucking Judge Dredd motorcycle.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. You can barely see him doing it, but that's cool.
He does it more later.
Okay.
So,
Ew.
So then, Batman and Judge Dredd infiltrate the hedonism sphere before it's closed forever. Mm-hmm. Before it's sealed forever.
Do they fight before they team up?
No.
Okay.
All right. We already took care of that in these books.
Cool.
That's why you needed these books.
Yeah, that got it out of the way. And then
they had the moment where they're like, we're fighting the whole issue, and then they understand one another, and then they nod at each other, and
yep.
You're okay, Judge Dredd. And,
yeah, you're all right in my book. So then they fight bad guys. Yeah, well,
they fight the ghost. They get the vacuum cleaners.
They get the. I think one of them is like, one of them gets like pulled into like a centrifuge, like not even a centrifuge, like one of those carnival rides where it's like a centrifuge.
Yeah,
like
Gravitron.
Yeah, Gravitron. One of the fucking ghosts gets sucked into the Gravitron. He's just stuck in there. He's like, okay, you're good. So I'll just wait until we open the door. We'll suck you into our vacuum cleaner.
All right.
Batman defeats one of the judges and like leaves him trapped in like a swampy area, like in some water.
Uh-huh.
But what's funny is he doesn't really defeat him. Like he defeats him in as much as like he's stuck in water, but he doesn't actually like do the thing because Judge Dredd gives him a couple of, like ghost traps from his belt, and the ghost trap he gets separated from it, so he winds up like getting him stuck somewhere. So he's like, I'll deal with you later. And then he tells Judge Dredd later, like, oh, by the way, there's one of the guys, they're stuck over there.
Yeah, I need you to go there and use.
Yes.
So what does Batman really bring to the table in this book? Does he do any Batman stuff?
I mean, he kicks ass.
Does he use like gadgets and shit? I guess
not many.
Does he use his supreme intellect?
No.
This book is all like.
Well, because Joker is now like a judge, he has superpowers.
Right.
His laugh is cacophonous and harmful.
It makes people's heads explode.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And then this guy opens his face mask and.
Yeah, like in Beetlejuice. Remember when Beetlejuice looks at the guy and then he goes, "Bah!" and you just only see the puppets that shoot out of the face. That happens.
Right.
Yeah.
So they don't really save anybody. Like all these people die.
Oh, like dozens upon dozens of people are slaughtered.
Wow.
Oh, it's like they might as well have just left them in the sphere. But they do save some people.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah, there are some people who are saved.
Like 2?
I'd say there's more than... I'd say there's at least half a dozen.
Are most of them maimed?
I mean, certainly, it's... Listen.
These books are very dark.
Judge Dredd is a dark place.
Yeah.
It's also a really weird place. Where the hell did Joker go? I haven't seen him in pages.
Okay, Joker winds up just giving up.
What?
And...
Does he go in a cube?
No, Joker, who, by the way,
just like stops.
Looks great. Oh man, it's awesome. Judge Death gets the drop on Dredd in one of those like fun house rooms.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And he stabs Dredd in the arm with like a shard of glass.
Yeah.
And then Dredd takes that shard and then just shivs the shit out of Judge Death. I think he cuts his head off. Yeah, he cuts his head off with it.
Why doesn't Judge Death like shove his hand through Judge Dredd's
chest?
like
he would
right?
with anyone else, because then the book would be over.
So these people who are part of this Dome project, they seem to recognize Judge Mortis when he shows up.
Yes.
This is just every day for them. Like, they know.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he's in the papers and stuff, probably, right?
Yeah.
Like, international, interdimensional killer Judge Mortis.
Like, some of these people have jobs, right?
What? The bad judges?
No, the people of Mega City 1.
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
so,
some of them, but isn't unemployment like 98% or something?
I'm just saying, you're going about your day, you're doing whatever, and all of a sudden, like, Judge Death shows up, and you're like, oh.
Yep, that's it. That's say goodbye to your day.
Joker showed up in Gotham, like, oh, it's the Joker. He's like infamous.
Yeah,
I guess.
Right, but like the Joker.
No, when Judge Death shows up, he is on the high. Like they put Mega City 1 on the highest alerts.
Okay.
Like it is a fucking it's like Armageddon. Like, hey, guess what, everybody? You might all be slaughtered to death by a ghost. Like that's every time. every time Judge Death shows up, they fucking do priority one, like, holy fuck mode.
And, like, look, the Joker is a force of nature. He's a super.
Yeah, but Judge Death is like a real force of nature.
He's a legitimate ghost.
Yeah.
Like he's, well, so we're all going to die then because you can't stop a ghost.
That's right. Except they've proven that they can.
Yeah.
Silly ass bullshit technology.
Just get a vacuum
Also,
cleaner.
like,
yes.
Joker is legitimately out for Batman in the end. Like,
Yes.
any plan he has, whether it involves the world or Gotham or whatever, it's about Batman in the end.
Yeah.
Judge Death is just like, nah, man, like, I'm a ghost. I'm a skeleton ghost.
But he does hate Judge Dredd. He does have out for Dredd.
Okay.
So
all right.
No, they have a vendetta.
He specifically wants to hurt Judge. Probably because Judge Dredd has defeated him so many times.
That, and he's also like, you're kind of like the opposite of me.
Okay. Oh, he's fleshy colored.
Oh, Joker?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's in a dude's body, like just some random guy. When his spirit goes in there, it like morphs him a little bit, so he's got like a creepy smile, but like he is a regular fleshy person.
And he's got like red, orange hair?
Well, yeah, because he's a punk.
Yeah, because he takes over a punk's body.
Yeah. So, oh my god, no.
He should have put him in a woman.
It's amazing because Batman finally sees the Joker in his silly ass like outfit.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, so Joker is here, which means and then he deduces like the belt didn't work, and there's half of him here and half of him there.
Okay.
And so he's like, okay, well then I know what's going on. And then like Joker does this like triple somersault flip from like a tall area, and then just falls and cracks his face and breaks his neck.
What? He just fucking misses?
Yeah. Because he's like, I don't have to worry about anything anymore. I can't die.
Oh.
So then he like sets his neck back together. And,
I see.
And then does his laugh attack, and then Judge Dredd shoots Joker in the face and the throat so that he can't laugh.
Look at the amount of onomatopoeia on this.
Yeah, I love this.
That is insane.
It's just nothing.
Because it's the ha's and the blams are like cutting through the ha's. I love this image. This is Judge Dredd for me.
Okay.
It's like the blams are graffiti.
Yeah.
All right.
But anyway, so Dredd shoots him, and then and Joker's like, well, okay, you might have caught me. You know, because Batman wraps him up in a batarang, and so he's stuck. And then, and Joker's like, well, you might have caught me now, but like, I'll just go back to my body later. And he turns on the belt.
Okay.
And when he leaves, he then leaves behind the body of the punk that he inhabited, who is now dead because Judge Dredd filled him with holes.
Yeah.
And Dredd's like, oh, I know this guy. He's a punk anyway. Like, it's fine. So then
He's like 5 years in the cube for making me look bad.
Yeah. So then Joker wakes up, and under orders from the police department, they were like, oh, we're not taking any chances. They strap the Joker's unconscious body in a fucking chair in Arkham. So when Joker reappears, he is trapped in Arkham again. And he's
awesome.
like, what? Oh, no! Ah!
See, Batman does do something.
Yeah, and then Batman is like, well, so long. And they shake hands.
That's pretty fucked up.
Wait, did they get rid of the other judges?
Yeah, well, they're like,
Joker was the last one, right?
Joker was the last one, and the other... Oh, yeah, no, they defeated all the other Jokers.
They sucked him up in the vacuum cleaners.
The vacuum cleaners and the Gravitron thing.
What is there, a dinosaur?
Oh, that?
Yeah, that.
Well, you know, sometimes there's dinosaurs in Mega City 1. This is the hedonism room. It's got cool shit in it.
They just like to draw dinosaurs in Judge Dredd comics.
Who doesn't want to draw dinosaurs? These are artists who just love drawing
like
crazy
a big
shit.
bee. First of all, that's not a pleasurable thing. It's
No, but they're
bee.
cute.
It's
a bumblebee.
It's whimsical.
Yeah.
You know what? No.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. So, like, what's amazing is Batman gets back to the Batcave, and then he immediately calls Arkham. He's like, okay, listen, the Joker, you're going to have to... And they're like, oh, no, like, he's...
Yeah, we already got him.
We already got him. And he's like, he's really upset. And Batman's like, good, keep him there.
Yeah.
And then
Judge Anderson's there, like, naked under the sheets, and...
Yeah, well, she was...
Well, they're totally gonna bang.
Yeah, I was just banging Judge
there's no
Anderson
fucking question. It ends with him, like, resting... Because she's like, it's great. You know, he's like, I don't know how this happened. I don't know why the belt didn't work right. I don't know why Joker had two Jokers. I don't know anything about what happened here.
None of this makes any sense.
All I know is it doesn't matter. It's over. And then Anderson says, Mega City 1 owes you its thanks. And he's like, Dredd already passed them on. And she's like, Joe thanked you? I'm like, wow, that's a first. And then Batman, like, puts his hand on her shoulder, and he's like, yeah. And then she's like, yeah. And you're like, oh. And then the book ends, and ostensibly they totally bang.
Right, and she goes back home, and Dredd's like,
you totally banged Batman.
Does Judge Anderson and Judge Dredd have, like, a thing?
No.
Okay.
Ever?
No, they're, well, like, over their long 40-year history, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not a Judge Dredd expert.
Right,
Well,
but they're not like...
But they're not...
Maybe the Bard can let us know.
I would
Yeah.
love to know. Have Anderson and Dredd slept together. I can imagine the Bard's reaction right now. I'd be like, "Whoa! How could you even imagine such a thing?"
I just asked you.
Oh, and there's a backup in this volume that has Lobo and Judge Dredd crossover. It is the worst. Don't even look at it. But
Oh, I'm looking.
anyway,
So, okay, here's a question for you.
yes,
All right, so pretty much, like, is 2000 AD,
yeah,
does crossovers with DC.
They've done 5 of them,
And not with Marvel.
oh no,
If they did Marvel, would it be with the Punisher?
It would have to be the
what
Punisher.
would happen?
I think Dredd would call Punisher a pussy. Like, I think that Punisher would be like, I think Dredd would be like, okay, so you're just a criminal. Like, you don't do anything.
Right.
You have no authority. You look like a jackass. I mean, like, I love Punisher, but I think that Dredd would think Punisher was like a joke and a half measure.
Right.
What about him and Daredevil versus the Kingpin?
That would be awesome. I would love that. I would love to
be
see
awesome.
Dredd and Daredevil team up to battle with the Kingpin. That'd be amazing.
Or Doom.
Why wouldn't Dredd just
Doctor
kill him,
Doom?
though?
Yeah, you could battle Doom.
Dude would be like, I don't even know what to make of you.
It's like, what?
Yeah, you are ridiculous.
Which, of course, is like the pot calling the kettle black.
Oh yes, no, it's true.
You look ridiculous.
Yeah, fair enough. It would be great to see Dredd's frown versus Doctor Doom's like kind of baked in expression.
Right?
But anyway, Judge Dredd Batman, because it really is It's called Batman Judge Dredd, but it is Judge Dredd Batman.
Yeah.
Because Gotham is underrepresented,
Yeah.
and that is like an understatement.
Right, well, it's
There's only
clear-
one book that takes place chiefly in Gotham,
No, it's true.
and it's the worst one because it's got the ventriloquist in it.
Yeah.
No, but I understand in a way because
yeah.
DC can't have Judge Dredd running around in the
No.
universe.
No,
It would
but
be such a like weird neutered version of
It
Judge
would,
Dredd.
and like if you're doing it, like either it has to be a thing where it's just Batman, there's no other superheroes, or Superman's gonna show up and be
Yes.
like, "Get out of here!"
I'm going to punch you so hard you will end up in your other universe.
You will end up in the sun in a different universe.
So I guess we should ask, like, should they do another one since DC seems to be kind of into crossovers now? I say yes.
I say yes, and
I mean,
it would
what
be...
else are you gonna do though?
Well, like, what if they did the new Dredd?
Oh, you mean like the movie Dredd?
Yeah.
I mean, they're
That would
pretty much
be-
the same.
well, except this one's dealing with all this like bizarre supernatural
Yeah.
stuff.
That's the thing, yeah. I would like to see it, and I would like it to be
This one?
whatever they want. Like, I want them to
Well,
just have, like, carte blanche.
I'm just gonna put my other theory out there. Then do this Dredd, do Judge Death, do Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah, Ra's al Ghul seems like the natural.
Where, like,
Well, okay.
because, like, then it's not a villain team-up. It's like Batman has to stop Judge Dredd from killing Ra's al Ghul. And it's like, well, why would I do that?
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't. You know, that'd be
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, but Talia shows up and she's like,
There's
Yeah,
no.
it would be cool to
yeah.
get Talia in there.
There's no. It's not really about anything, and it doesn't
Right.
really like. The only point is like to look at the things they want you to look at.
Right.
It's mostly spectacle,
Yeah.
and a little.
Which I imagine is what Judge Dredd is.
Judge
Right.
Dredd is. I mean, Judge Dredd is many things. It's a deconstruction of American fascism,
right.
and totalitarianism. It's a great like hard boiled, ridiculous, dumbass like '80s heavy metal.
Yeah.
Homage. There's a lot of subtext going on in Judge Dredd books.
But it's,
Surprisingly enough,
right, but it's like covered over by
the high flying,
ridiculous
lunacy.
imagery and
Yeah.
and very super stylized art.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's defined by its hyper stylization.
You know, we never see like modern villains that have been created.
Like Bane.
Like the Court of Owls.
Oh.
That'd be cool. I would like to see Dredd out of his depth.
Yeah.
You know, Dredd just reacting to Gotham and being like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, it's too hard.
What you could do is actually a swap where like Dredd is just exclusively in Gotham and is just trying to do what Batman does,
You know
and
what?
Batman doing what Dredd does.
Yes, and I like that because I would love to see Dredd interact with Gordon.
Oh my god.
Because Gordon is like
The law.
He's the law, and he has a very different. Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I
well,
said
which
it.
law would Judge Dredd enforce?
I
Would
don't
it be
know.
Judge Dredd law, or would it,
It
be
would be his
Gotham
own
It
law.
would be
He's
his
a judge.
own law, but I feel like I think that he would think that Gordon was weak, but I think you could craft a moment in which he's just like he has a very different strength. Like,
Yes.
it's an inner strength.
I like
It's-
that idea.
Yeah, well, and like we
But I
are
would-
restrained by our laws.
Yes.
but like in some ways we're better for it.
Right. I love the idea, by the way. Counter to that, you get to see Judge Batman. And they
Yeah.
make, like, a special judge outfit for him.
Yeah,
'Cause
and
he's
he's
trapped
like,
there.
no, I'm not gonna like
Yeah.
summarily execute people.
Right.
Like,
Well, he
like, but that's your job.
that'd
now,
be amazing.
Batman.
He's like, you're an honorary judge now, and it's like, I'm gonna do it my way.
yeah.
Yeah.
And how he's like, I'm gonna show you a better way.
Right.
And would be amazing, and of course it was published by 2018. They'd be like, and obviously it doesn't work.
Right.
Because
well, and it wouldn't
it's
work
impossible.
arguably in this universe.
Yes.
That he's in. Like they created the judge system. Like
Because as a reaction to
Right.
yeah, to like rampant.
Right, but I can see Batman being like,
uncontrollable crime.
you didn't do that because you gave in. Like, you gave
Right,
up
you
on
gave
law.
up.
Yeah. You gave up on
Interesting.
justice.
That'd be an
Yes.
interesting. And
Right.
if I was to read that, I would want it to not be resolved clearly.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
I think that
because
that's
you
like
shouldn't
there's.
answer
It would be
that question.
ambiguous and
But I'd still
frustrating.
like to see Judge Dredd deal with like the father figures of Batman in a sense, with
Yeah.
Gordon and with Alfred. Like
That's
have
true,
the
yeah.
moment with Alfred where like, because he wouldn't hang out at Wayne Manor or the Batcave, but he might end up back
in the
there.
Batcave. Yeah, I
and,
could
like-
see Alfred being like, I wish that Master Wayne would actually do some things.
I-
Or I was gonna say like he's like trying to like he's just like you're like Batman is weak and he's just like you don't understand.
Yeah,
it at
then you
all.
don't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And to
I have
explain it to him, and like he'd be in the cave, and like there would be like the Jason Todd Robin suit, and like you know what I mean, just all these things, and he's just like, why would he surround himself by his failures?
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
I have a hard time imagining. I haven't read it. I have a hard time imagining this Dredd reacting in any intelligent way with Alfred.
I don't know
Movie
this.
Dredd, I can totally see.
Right,
how
That's
about
a
this?
man who can be reasoned with.
I
Maybe
No,
this Dredd can
comic book
too.
Dredd.
I don't think he would outwardly be, but I feel like he would.
He does. Like, there are times that Judge Dredd has acted counter to the law
Ah,
because there was a better way.
okay.
Right.
And was that like someone showed him, like Judge Anderson was like, no, you can't get
No, it was him being like-
he was like, you
It's
know what?
him
No.
following the laws he
Right.
set.
And it, so instead of it being like that he learns a little lesson, I think it would be more or less he gained an understanding of Batman and
Yeah.
the law and justice of Gotham.
Yes.
Right.
And like what it is and how Batman fits into that, as opposed to like learning the like you know
The
the
end of the episode.
yeah the after school
Yeah.
special message. You know,
Yeah.
it would just be a better understanding of
I
Batman.
agree. But hey, listen, if you want DC to do it, you got to tell DC. You got to ask the creators. Reach out to 2008. I guarantee you, 2008 to be like,
2008.
oh, yes, that would be a great idea.
How about this? And nobody wants this, except I kind of want this. Instead of it being Judge Dredd Batman, what if it was Judge Dredd, maybe Batman, and Constantine? Because Constantine's a Brit, first
Yes.
of all.
It-
And he,
If you were to do that, then I would recommend just doing a suite where it's like Mega City 1 invading the DC universe or something, where it's like Constantine dealing with Judge Death and Batman dealing with like something else. You know what I mean? Just
right.
like
How come-
taking all the elements of 2000 AD and putting them against the
It's
DC
interesting.
universe.
They have Judge Death, but they never thought to do anything with Dead Man,
No.
who's like the
Yeah, but, like-
benign version
Okay,
of
Nobody
In
Judge
gives a
1990
shit about that book.
1992, 93, they were like, I don't give a fuck
But
about
like he's
that.
the same guy, except he doesn't kill the person.
He's a
Yeah,
good
but,
guy.
like,
Yeah.
But like, I'm sure this sold a ton in UK because it had like Batman in it. Because they're like, a real fucking superhero
No.
in our
Oh,
Judge
no,
Dredd book.
they love Judge Dredd.
Well,
Yeah, no,
but like,
that's why.
but
yes,
the Americans
the
agreed
Oh,
to
yeah.
have one of their premier
Yes,
characters
in
in
our book.
our premiere.
I mean, here's the
characters
thing.
book. Like, yes,
The funny thing is, both of them are American superheroes.
Right.
Well, okay, Judge Dredd is not a superhero, but
well,
American
characters.
comic book characters. It's just that Judge Dredd is a English interpretation of American,
Yeah.
like comic books.
Yeah.
And Batman is like, it's great to see them too, because Judge Dredd is like a dick, right? So that's what they think of us,
Right.
and Batman is a tool. Through the lens of Dredd, right?
Right,
Dredd,
right.
like Batman shows up and he's like, I actually believe the things I say. And Dredd being like, you dork. I punched you twice and you were on your back.
And you know what it is? This is a good choice too, because like they have not similar philosophies, but like it's like
it's two sides of the same coin.
You can see the parallels, right?
Yeah.
Law and justice.
Well, they both operate in like hellscape.
Yeah.
Type
Yes.
Exactly.
With maniacal lunatic monsters
exactly.
roaming the streets.
But like for me, like the clear like. Oh, I wonder if this was like a thought in anyone's mind at one point where they're like, we'll do Dredd and Superman. And they're like, wait, no.
That would not work. I would actually love to see that because those are two immovable objects
yes.
Right.
who are obstinately beholden to their ideals.
Yes.
Whereas Batman's like, if somebody were to shoot Joker in the head.
Right. Well, Batman, like, beats the shit out of people.
Right.
Yes.
Well, he also is like, he's not like going to the fucking GCPD being like, oh, you gotta holster those sidearms, by the way, because there's no guns in Gotham. Like, no. He's like, no, listen, if Gordon shot the Joker,
right,
then Gordon would get a special steak dinner. You know, but Superman be like, you don't shoot the Joker.
Yeah.
Because he's a human. You know, like,
yeah.
That's a thing. Anyway, Batman Judge Dredd, you can pick it up in the description box below this video. I'm going to make this guy available, the collections. You can get it all.
This was fun. This was more fun than I expected.
Oh, I knew it was going to be fun. I was like, oh yeah, this is going to be ridiculous.
I had no idea how insane
right.
That's, you know what's funny?
Was.
I was never prepared for how insane it was going to be. When I first picked it up, I'm like, ugh! I avoided it. I remember when we started ComicPop and we used to go to like random conventions, occasionally Ben would give me Batman Judge Dredd, and I go, get that away from me!
Right? Well, I knew it would be crazy. But I didn't expect it to actually have like some
meaning to it.
Some meaning, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I knew it was going to be crazy. I just didn't know how crazy.
But I didn't know it was going to be ghosts.
I did, because that single issue I read.
About Judge Death.
About Judge Death. The only thing I knew about.
Well, I guess is like super important in the Judge Dredd universe.
They use him very sparingly.
Oh. Good.
After this, he didn't appear for a long time.
Okay. Well, that's
good.
like
in the legitimate
he would definitely
DC should take a page out of that with the Joker.
I agree.
Right?
Yeah.
No, how about this? 3 of them.
Yeah, thanks.
Anyway, we'll see you guys next week with another episode of Back Issues. I'm Sal.
I'm Ethan.
I'm
Thanks a lot for watching.